Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. This is Mike, and you're listening to Mike Dell's World Portable Edition. Well, not really portable. I'm sitting in my easy chair in my living room with a pair of beagles who are probably going to make noise while I'm talking, but that's okay. I'm testing out a new setup. A little bit new setup. This will be my portable podcasting setup for when I travel. Not necessarily in the car, but, hotel room, whatever. And I got my ATR 2100 microphone back from Audio-Technica just today, so I'm testing it out. It developed a problem, and since it's under lifetime warranty, I sent it back to them. They turned it right around and sent it right back to me, and it works now. So I don't know what they did. I don't know whether they replaced it or fixed it or what. Doesn't really say. But even sent me a new USB cable and a new XLR cable for it. So now I got an extra XLR and an extra USB. So who knows? But it seems to be working good. I did a couple of test records. Of course, I don't have my pop filter on it, which I will have when I go ahead and actually do other podcasts with it. But like I said, I'm just testing it out. And the other piece to the puzzle is I finally got a new laptop. So got a MacBook Pro 13 Retina, and no, I didn't get the one with the silly touch bar on it. I got the one that has just the regular function keys on the top, and that's totally fine with me. I was asked, why are you buying it now? Apple's announcing a new one tomorrow, or whatever it was, and I said, well, pretty much guarantee they're not going to do a whole lot of spec updating, and they didn't really. The chips aren't significantly different than they were, and this is leaps and bounds ahead of my previous Mac laptop that is still working. But I had a 2008 white MacBook, plastic MacBook. It was stuck on, I think, Mountain Lion, and just old. It worked. That's one thing about Macs. They just keep working and working and working. So, got the MacBook Pro. It's quite a bit smaller in thickness. And sorry about the dogs in the background. Percy and Benny are deciding who gets to chew on the bone right now. So, oh, that's crazy. Just about as annoying to you as it is to me, I'll bet. Okay, I think I got them quieted down for now. Let's see. I had a pretty good week. Started out the week, normal work week, but drove down to Columbus, Ohio, to the Raw Voice offices. Todd Cochran, our CEO, also flew into town, so we all hung out at the office there and got a couple of days of office time with the Columbus crew, so it was good to see everybody there. Winnie, Lena, Mackenzie, Angelo, and of course Todd, and we all hung out there and got some really cool stuff coming for Blueberry, and you'll see that if you follow me on Twitter, MG Dell on Twitter. You'll see that there's a new player that I'll post for this episode. That is one of the things that we've been working on. Of course, it's going to improve and also be rolled into PowerPress at some point in the future, but we're just getting that done, and I guess we're going to be doing some other social stuff, so stay tuned on that front. But like I said, I had a good trip down there. I decided to hang out in the office until Wednesday evening, and rather than spend the night and drive home in the morning, I decided, I'll drive home Wednesday night. So I drove home through rain and snow and everything else and got back here about 2 a.m. So I decided to sleep in a little bit on Thursday and got going. Did my webinar Thursday afternoon, and yesterday, caught up with all the work. So I actually achieved inbox 0 by the end of Friday. Then I went over to a friend's house and got him most of the way set up with his studio. He's going to be doing a podcast. He was the guy that I would occasionally get on the radio with on the morning show here on the local rock station. But he and the station have parted ways, and in the future here, not too distant future, he's going to be doing his show via podcast. So I'm sure I'll have links, probably have him on this show, and he'll have me on his show. So we'll cross promote that. So if you're in the local Traverse City area or some of the other markets that this particular person was in prior, you'll be interested to probably subscribe to his podcast. So we'll just leave it at that for now. But he's well on his way. He got a pretty nice setup there. Got a couple PR40s. The only hang-up we had was the board that he got was a little more complicated than I'm used to working with, so I couldn't quite figure out how to get the mix-minus thing going the way I wanted it to go. So I grabbed the manual for that mixer, and I got some light reading to do, and we'll figure out which cables need to go where and what knobs need to be turned and switched and flipped. And he'll have his call-in number and Skype set up so he can have people on the show. So that'll be fun. And again, sorry for the beagles in the background. I'm not even going to try. I tried recording this a little earlier when they were quiet, and then they got unquiet. So whatever. I'll just let them do their thing. They're fighting over a bone, but they're nice dogs. We did decide to adopt Percy. Percy was the rescue beagle that we got as a foster. I volunteer for the Midwest BREW. It's Beagle Rescue Education and Welfare for the Midwest out of Chicago, but they cover pretty much the whole Midwest, and now I volunteer for them, doing transports, home visits, and occasionally fostering beagles. But we got Percy, and he fit right in. So we decided we would just go ahead and adopt him, and he's a pretty good dog. So now we've got Benny, who's just about 6 months, and we got Percy, who's just over a year old. So they're pretty close in age. Percy is a 15-inch beagle. I'm pretty sure most people don't know that beagles come in two varieties, the 13 and the 15. It doesn't sound like a lot of difference, but that's the difference between a 25-pound dog and a 35-pound dog. So they are different. Benny's a 13, and Percy's the 15. And Percy's fully grown. He's probably about 35, 36 pounds. And Benny, when he's full grown, will be about 23, 24 pounds, if his parents are any indication. And just the perfect size. They're not small little ankle biter dogs, but they're not big Labradors that overwhelm you with their size. So they're pretty good. Other than they're noisy, as you can hear in the background. So that's basically in a nutshell what I'm up to. I figured I would try out the new MacBook with the newly refurbished ATR microphone, and it seems to be working pretty okay. I've got to record a podcast help desk sometime this weekend and get that out. And I think I have a couple of rants I want to do for Geek of the North, and I'm going to start in earnest on the Traverse City podcast. Again, I think I talked about this in the last episode, but maybe not. as far as the podcasting stuff goes, I'm immersed in it, 24/7 it seems, with a day job, but I still love it. And I love to do my own shows. The thing is, I'm not real good at sticking to schedules, as you can tell if you're subscribed to any of my other shows. So I pretty much decided I'm going to throw the schedules out on all of them. I'm going to try to keep the podcast help desk to a weekly, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think when I'm motivated to do a show and there's something to talk about, I'll do it. Otherwise, they come out lousy. So, I think Podcast Help Desk is going to be the most scheduled one, but no guarantees on that. I'm going to try. But as far as the rest of these, they happen when they happen. And sometimes they'll happen frequently, and sometimes they won't. And I really appreciate you staying subscribed either way. And by the way, I was on the PowerPress podcast, which is scheduled and on schedule almost every week or every 2 weeks. But I was a guest on there talking about immortal podcasting and podcast networks. And I've got more to talk about on Podcast Help Desk about networks. And I'm working on a webinar about how to operate a podcast network using PowerPress. So that'll be upcoming here shortly. And I think that's about it on that front. Hopefully this doesn't sound too terrible. I'm not going to run this through Auphonic, I don't think. Maybe I will. And then we'll make sure it works. But and sorry for the dog noise in the background, but I'm tired of fighting with them. Because if I did, I'd either have to stop and start, stop and start, stop and start, and yell at the dogs, or you'd hear me yelling at the dogs. And it seems pointless. So with that, everybody have a good week or whatever. And go blue.